What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Movie Trash Podcast. We're going to review the movie today, The Room. Or is it just Room? I can't remember, guys.
Room.
Okay, we're going to review Room. So, Matt, what did you think about this movie?
Oh, you're going to start off with me?
No, I'm talking to the other Matt.
Yeah. What did I think about the movie?
Yeah.
I thought that...
Thoughts? Wait, do you want to do the synopsis?
What, like, kind of like the whole...
The rundown
of the movie? Yeah, I can. So, basically, it starts off with a kid, like a young boy, that, how about you do the rundown? Because I don't know, like, exactly, like, how to...
I can try to do the rundown.
Here, I'll do the rundown. So the rundown pretty much is just that there's a woman in a room with her child, and we kind of have to just figure out how they got there originally, like in the beginning of the movie. And later on, we find out that she's actually a rape victim that's captured by a man named Old Rick, and now her and her child have to try to escape this room, which kind of qualifies as hell for her, while the child is kind of oblivious to the outside world. Was that a good rundown?
Yeah,
pretty much.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Matt. Your thoughts?
I don't really have too many opinions about it, to be honest. It's just kind of, at first, you're not really sure to what to believe. If they're kind of in a situation to where it's like a post-apocalyptic world where they can't venture outside for some sort of reason or something like that. Because all you know is that at night and stuff, there's a man that brings them like the food and whatever they need to survive. So it was kind of interesting seeing like the kid, like that's all he ever knew. It was interesting seeing him like interact with the world around him, which was basically his whole world was that shed. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have like too many opinions on, I think they did a good job on showing that and showing that like the psychology behind it, how the kid was kind of developing in that small area where that was everything to him. So it seemed big to him, but I mean, of course it was just a small little shed that they're in. But otherwise, I don't know. What did you think, Angel? Do you have any?
Yeah. So I mean,
thoughts?
To start off, like the one thing that I think popped out going into this film, I was really trying. I'll let everyone know that Brie Larson, in terms of an actress and a person, I really don't like too much. To let y'all know that, I really didn't like her display of how she felt about certain things that I disagree with. So I tried not to let that get in the way of what I thought about, this movie. So going to this movie, trying to go with a clean slate, I will say her acting is amazing and incredible, including the kid named, by the way, like, I don't remember her character's name, but I do remember that she was just known as Ma, right? And the kid is just Jack, and the guy is Old Nick.
It was Jen Newman or something like that.
Something like that.
I know her last name was Newman for sure.
Newman, okay. Yeah. Definitely, like you said, Matt, with the psychology of how this child was raised in an enclosed space with only so little to do, and even knowing the concepts of what he thought the world was around him, in which he just thought it was just this room. The only three people that ever existed was himself, his mom, and Old Nick, and outside was just space, and that's it. And just imagining that, like, from his perspective was super trippy when you start thinking about like what he thought. And definitely one of my favorite parts that I really liked that challenged like his concepts was when Brie Larson's character was like, everything I told you was a lie. Like, I am now about to tell you the truth of what is literally the world. And how she started explaining that the people on TV are just people who are basically playing pretend, and playing pretend and like just choosing to be these kind of people, whatever, on TV. Cartoon characters are still cartoon characters. There are animals, there's civilizations out of, outside this room, outside this space, and with the analogy of, look at my hand on this side, this is where we are. On the outside, there's something else. There's much more than just what we are in this enclosed space. And you can definitely tell he starts to get very angry in the beginning and trying to deny it because it's so hard for him to even comprehend what, like, everything he's ever known is now like thrown out the table. And now he has to start off with a new clean slate of how he is going to visualize the world. And then, of course, later he gets very curious and starts getting like, oh, like, is this how it is? And that. And she really, you could tell that she's getting proud because, she's starting to really show him the truth of the world, I guess you could say. And as you get in closer to the truth, you can kind of feel the tension that they're getting closer to, I guess, even escaping this lie, which is the room itself, which I will say was pretty cool of how they went about it. At first, I was really hoping, don't tell me it's just 2 hours of them being in a room. Like, it better be exciting, or I don't know, just something. You give me something, don't bore me. And
that would be a very cheap movie.
That would be a very cheap movie, yeah. I feel like for a small point, I was like, please don't bore me, please. And I think at some points I was getting like a little repetitiveness, maybe because of just how they were living. You could tell like what goes on in their daily life. But as you start to see that she's conjuring up some plan to escape, and even the past like way she's even tried to escape was like super crazy. Like, okay, they're definitely going to try it again. There's no way. And now she has a partner in crime to like do that. And, or not even a partner in crime. If anything, it's a partner in justice, because if anything, they've had a crime against them in some sense, right? If you think about it. So yeah, overall, like, I think those, like, how can I even explain that? Like, those smaller concepts within the movie that you're not really paying attention to, but when you look at it from the eye of a child, it's very interesting, very interesting. I do like how they kind of went into that, and also kind of how they interact once they do reach the outside world, in which I think I'm going to hand it over to Jay. What do you think about that? How did you feel about the movie?
Well, of course, this movie is, I saw it as a psychological movie, mostly, just like the mindset of both the kid and the mom, Yeah. And imagine just having to live in that room after knowing the outside world, like the kid, for him, it's hard to grasp the concept of the outside world. But for the mom, imagine losing that. Imagine going to school, living a whole life, and then at the beginning, some might even say, because some people say it's not a beginning until you reach 18, till you actually become an adult. Imagine like at the very beginning when you barely reach the age, or I don't even know if it's barely reached the age of 17, but when she's at the age of 17 getting kidnapped and all that going away, like all of it. There is no choice. There is no escape, and any effort made towards an escape will just lead to you, being, well, in the movie, she got her wrist broken. So clearly the man had no care for how her body was, or the care of like going to a hospital, so he clearly just wanted her for some pleasure, It's very fucking twisted. So I feel for the kid especially, but damn, I have to feel for the mom as well. And while, like you said, I don't like Brie Larson's acting in fucking other movies, like I very much disliked her in Captain Marvel. I know that's the easy go-to, but it's just showing you, I'm just trying to show you guys that she could have put more effort into the role, considering that she did so well in this one. Like, now I understand when people mention the fact that she got an Oscar, like, like I see it now, Beforehand, I didn't, because all I seen her in was Captain Marvel. And personally for me, I just didn't like her acting in it. It was very stone cold face and very bland. And I just don't like the amnesia part of the movie, because I don't know. It's very cliche nowadays. I think seeing her actually act and perform amazingly, you know what I mean? It blew my mind just watching her like cry tears and be human, not a fucking stone cold bitch, No, so, and definitely giving her this role as a mother, I would have never expected that from her. But I don't know. I personally think that this role that she played as Ma is more women empowering than Captain Marvel ever has been.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people fail to realize when looking for a character. It's not what they do exactly that makes them who they are, but it's like how they do things, and like how it's natural and how it flows well. And in this movie, it does flow well. Like her character is pretty consistent, and it makes sense to me, at least. As for the kid, I think the actor who played the kid was really funny when he needed to be and stuff like that. He was really adorable kid. I liked him a lot. But personally for me, I just didn't enjoy him that much. That makes sense. I don't know, his voice could be annoying at times. It's very high pitched. I got on my nerves. It kind of reminded me of the kid from the Babadook, where like I thought he like is annoying as fuck to the point where you kind of want that motherfucker to take him. Kind of like take the little dude. So
I kind of felt like that too, but at the same time you have to think back like, well, damn, this is the only life that he's ever lived, you know?
Yeah, that's what I kept thinking as well.
Yeah, when he got frustrated, like what you were saying, Angel, when he got frustrated when his mom started telling him about the whole world and everything. It was interesting seeing that, because the next day when she was angry and everything, she had he called it her done day or something like that, when she's just done. Something like that. So it was interesting seeing his reaction to that and like realizing like, well, I need to actually like take this serious because she's not joking around, you know? Like that was kind of his cue that she actually wasn't like telling a lie to him, because it was just like,
I saw her
scene was pretty intense.
I saw her done day as more kind of like the days where she just couldn't get out of bed. Like she realized this is her life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't think it was mostly like, cause he said like, I think you're done days. So I think there's multiple times where she's been like that. So I think it's just like when the life itself just takes a toll on her mindset. I think that's why he was talking about it. You know what I mean? He's like, oh yeah, some days you have like, you just don't want to get out of bed. And he's like, and I have to do everything for us, you know? Yeah. And I found that really cool too.
For sure. I mean, definitely going back to Brie Larson's character, like you said, of how strong her character is. If anything, her character, like when you really think about in her shoes, she is one of the most like, she's definitely one of the smarter, you know, and conniving characters, but yet you want her to be that way because you want her to escape the room, you know? And when she eventually does, it's freedom, and she is strong, you know? She's lasted since you can kind of guess, how old was the kid? Did he turn, Jack?
Well, he was 5, but she said that she got kidnapped when she was 17. And I think at one point 17. She also said that it was 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years.
So she was like 24 when they got out.
Okay, 24, right? So for 7 years, still has some of her sanity, you know, still trying to find a way, never giving up. That's, like you said, it's just, that's such a strong character. And she's badass for thinking of all these little things to get them, you know, to get Jack, the person, you know, that has been keeping her sane all this time, you know, out of this, you know, this room, this shack or whatnot. One part that I think was super high tensionist that I like really loved was when he got rolled up like a little burrito, you know, and that like carpet thingy, right? And he had to, you know, there's that whole plan to escape, and I was like, please don't open it, don't unroll it, please do not unroll it. And there's like that moment where he's standing next to that tree, because in my mind I was thinking like, I could just dump his body here in this tree, because she said a tree, you know, and but he's like, nah, screw it, like I kept my promise, whatever, and puts him in the truck, starts driving. And it's kind of cool because even as Jack's character, he's incredibly smart, because he kept track of all the times and the stops and the turns that led the police back to the location in which, you know, she was located at. So I thought that was pretty cool too. And another part was the relationships between, after they got out, the relationships between the grandmother, the grandfather, and Leo. I hate the grandfather. Not that I hate him. I don't want to hate him, but I can't help but hate him. Not hate him, but dislike him. The grandmother, awesome grandma, and Leo's awesome. Like, yeah,
I understand it, like the grandpa's perspective of like, oh my god, like this kid's a product of like my biggest fear, pretty much, as a father, you know?
Yeah,
because like
the man that stole his daughter away.
Well, not even that, bro. Just the biggest fear that your kid would be like raped, you know? Like I think that's any man's like biggest fear, you know? Because we personally, as men, we're clearly like, we can fight back. We have more of a chance, you know what I mean? But I'm not saying that men can't get raped or anything like that. I'm just saying like we have a higher chance to fight back because, you know, we're just bigger and broader, you know?
Yeah, the likeliness of us getting raped isn't the same, or to the same extent as like a woman getting raped, you know? Yeah. Women are more, you can easily take advantage of them. It's been proven statistically. So exactly.
So it just shows that You know, like I was just thinking, like, I understand his perspective because it's just like, damn, my biggest fear pretty much like happened, you know, my daughter disappeared and now like she got raped. And I think that was like why he didn't want to look Jack in the face or like stare at him, is because like, yeah, that's my biggest downfall as a father, you know, that's my biggest failure.
Proof that it happened and everything, and it was just too much for him to bear.
I understood his perspective, but it was still disgusting nonetheless. I couldn't help but like stomach being like, you know, turning, and I couldn't help but understand Brie Larson's character when she was like, look at him, you know what I mean, like he is here, you know what I mean, like, but also you got to understand that he's the person that saved me. You didn't save me, you know, mom didn't save me, he saved me. So you can think he's disgusting all you want, but without him, like, Brie Larson's character wouldn't even be alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So personally for me, I understand, but I don't care, you know? I don't care for your perspective.
That's why I'm like, in my perspective, I thought that Leo was that proper like grandfather father figure for him, which I was like really proud of, especially when he mentioned his dog Seamus, right? You're like, wow, like you couldn't help from Leo's side. He's just, of course, like it's not his official like blood related, you know, grandchild, but I'm really happy he was really willing to take up that mantle of being there for Jack, you know, and Brie Larson's character, no matter what, in terms of that, which was like, I thought it was really cool. I was really proud of him. That's why he's like one of like, he has to be, and personally for me, like the most likable character there, in my opinion.
He shows that it doesn't matter if you're blood related, that you can take that mantle and, you know, run with it. And that's what he did. He showed Jack the life that his grandpa should have been showing him, you know? While, like I said, I understand the grandpa's perspective and everything, I just think that he should have been the one to take that mantle, you know? He should have been the one to show Jack a new life or get him a dog or something, you know what I mean? Like, at least, like, try to understand that without this kid, there would be no daughter, you know what I mean? Your daughter wouldn't be here. So, I don't know. I think he had a very narrow mindset, you know, like, oh, people are going to judge me because my daughter was raped. Like, it's not about you, dog, you know? At this point, it's about that she's alive. Sure, she went through that, but she's here now, so the least you can do is love her and her child, you know?
It seems also too that his character was pretty like selfish. So I don't know if you guys remember when they're all like together in the family room for the first time and stuff, and he comes in and he's like, oh, I have to talk to the lawyer and blah blah blah. Like, he's just like worried about himself, you know? He's not even worried about like upsetting either of the two victims in this story. He just comes in like kind of like in a rage almost. He's like, get me a drink. So it's just like, for sure he was kind of like that character, that selfish character that wasn't good for either of the whole family and stuff. So
totally. Another part that I'm like thinking about that I really liked, that was kind of psychological in itself, or I guess had like meaning to it, was actually, you know what, before I get to that part, how do you guys feel about Brie Larson's character? Because she basically like OD'd, right? Because she couldn't handle it. It seemed like there was so much on her mental in terms of, I mean, like who can blame her? She was in her room, you know, like she still doesn't feel right. She doesn't feel well, and you can tell even the doctor, you can infer that the doctor was telling her something. You're not so sure. It was kept secret. You can kind of infer like, hey, if you need help, we can help you out, you know? There was like special care for you or whatnot. And when she OD'd, I was like, wow, like I was really hoping the character didn't die, because I was like, Jack does need her, and that's his mom, no matter what. So that scene,
the fact that sorry, I don't mean to go over you, but the fact that the doctor gave her the pain pills, like for her wrist, I think that was a mistake on his part, because I mean, strong pain pills like that, like, can pretty much be like heroin, and it goes straight to drug abuse and stuff. So yeah, I think that was definitely a mistake, because she was thinking about so much, and just probably so depressed about losing that much of her life, and then her parents not being together anymore and everything like that. She probably felt like it was all because of her. So I think that's what led her up to like the overdosing. It would have never happened if, maybe she would have tried some other way, but I feel like the drugs definitely probably got her to that point also.
For sure.
I think what finally tipped it over the edge, though, was the moment where she had the interview with the lady. And her question was, oh, did you ever think about Jack? Basically pointing out like, oh, you're a flawed mother for allowing your child to live in the same conditions as you,
Yeah.
So I think that's what finally did it in, because you can clearly see like she like reacted so like not aggressively, but just kind of like negatively. You know what I mean? She was like,
yeah, that's when
like,
she comes downstairs, right? And she's like, play with your toys.
No, wait.
I think that was after that interview when she's like, why won't he play with his toys? And she gets in her argument with her mom.
I think that was before.
Really?
I think so.
I don't remember, but
I don't remember
it was
which
around
order
the same
it went.
area, definitely. But
yeah.
I don't remember
the interview.
I don't remember where it was placed, like storyline wise, but I just do remember that. I think directly after that scene, Matt, is when she tries to kill herself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it was the interview, and then that was like that scene where she
I think it was
downstairs.
The interview, and then she tried to kill herself.
Yeah, but I think that scene was in between when the interview happened. I think that scene was kind of in between the interview and her killing herself. Or trying to kill herself. I think that was when she came downstairs.
She was staying in bed, right? Because she was staying in bed, and Jack wanted to go into the room and was watching like Dora or something. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think she was laying there like depressed, and then that's when she's like, "Go downstairs and play with your toys. Why don't you want to play with your toys?" And that's when you were saying, or Jay, I'm sorry, how she was like questioning herself and pretty much saying like, am I a bad mother, and did I ruin his basically his development? Yeah. So I think that was her realizing that she might have ruined his development, that he doesn't even want to play with toys.
You can. I personally, for me, I can't even blame her character for even making that decision, because for her it's like, I'm alone. She doesn't want to be alone. She was selfish in that moment, but it's like, can you really blame a mother's like selfishness to want her child like right then and there with her, no matter what? Even if she could have given him the life, she wanted to be there in his life no matter what.
I was gonna say, it's not even that, bro. It's just think about this. Like, who would rightfully give a rapist their baby? I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'm not giving my kid to a rapist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like, their thought process was, oh, well, you could have given him a better life. Well, yeah, if the fucking captor didn't end his life before it even began.
Yeah.
You're putting it in the perspective of, oh, yeah, my captor was a decent person just because he gave me food and water? No, he just wanted to be able to, rape me multiple times. That's it. There was no decent person in him. He was just a bad person who couldn't stand the idea of going out to find another woman to kidnap. So he just decided, hey, I'll kidnap one and just take care of her. That's it. Mm-hmm. For them to push the agenda that, oh, you're a bad mother because you didn't let your baby have a childhood. Well, that's not really the idea that's running through my mind when a rapist comes in my room every night to fucking touch me. All right? That wouldn't be my first idea. Oh, let him have my baby. That pissed me off so much. I was like, you're actually a dumbass interviewer, which I guess is expected of the media nowadays. So that just pissed me off even more. Like, why would you ask that question knowing that this man is a terrible person?
Yeah.
That's like being like, oh, well, why didn't you just let the guy with the fucking AIDS put his dick in your ass? You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, think about it. He clearly had no care for the child because he didn't give a fuck about the kid's vitamins. He didn't care about his nutrition. He didn't care about anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when he died, he was kind of just like, oh, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? So I think
didn't care. There was no emotion behind it. It was just like, another thing. Another thing I have to now deal with. Whatever.
Exactly. Oh, 6 months laid off and now I gotta bury a dead kid. This is fucked up. Like, that was literally his mindset. Like, there were no fucks given. So why even think, oh, you're a bad mother for not giving it to the rapist? What, bro? Like, honestly, if I was Brie Larson's character, I would have faded that bitch right there, bro. I would have yanked her shit, grabbed her fucking ears, fucking karate chop her neck hole, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck.
And yeah, definitely. And I feel like if she wasn't depressed, she probably would have done that. But the fact that she was thinking, probably like already thinking those thoughts, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
She was probably like, that's what kind of pushed her to the edge, where it was like you said, where she finally decided that she maybe didn't want to be in this world anymore or whatever. But yeah, that was a crazy scene for sure. When he runs upstairs and she has the water running, and then he opens the door and he's like, oh shit, like he starts freaking out. I was like, damn, dude. I think I definitely might have teared up during that, honestly.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of scenes that made me tear up. I never really cried, but I did tear up through quite a bit throughout the movie. I think one of the biggest scenes is when they finally reconnect after escaping the room.
Yeah.
That definitely made me tear up, because he was just like, "Ma," and she was just like saying through the like how much she like loves him throughout the like through the window, you know. And I thought that was a really nice scene. But I don't know. Personally, for me, I would have laid that fucking reporter chick out, bro. I would have beat her fucking ass senseless. I'd have been like, all right, bro, I'm about to put you in her fucking room. It's called a morgue, son. Like, don't fucking talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like you're fucking stupid. You're not stupid.
Dude, did anyone else think that she wasn't gonna get found though? Because when the kid got out, he like couldn't answer the questions and stuff, you know, because it was like probably a sensory overload.
Oh, yeah.
I had that feeling. I was like, dude, she's not gonna get out. Like, she's gonna be dead by the time they even get back to her.
That's what I was thinking.
I was like,
too.
That fucking bitch, blah blah blah. I thought he was gonna go straight back and just like kill her for sure. So I thought it was gonna be too late.
To try to get away, but yeah, no, same here. I thought it was gonna be too late as well.
The moment I saw the tooth, I was kind of just like, oh, thank God. Like, they have, like, something
like
at
DNA
least,
sample.
you know?
Because they definitely reported her missing. So there's going to be a DNA, database. Oh, look, who did this teeth belong to? There's going to be dental records for sure.
Yeah.
It would have taken a while, but luckily he was able to recap, like, all the stops and turns in which he felt the vehicle move in what way or whatnot. So that was really good. One part, I think, or the final part, where it's kind of like facing your demons at the very end and just looking it in the face and then leaving kind of at the end, is just facing the room one last time to say goodbye to it, which was, I think, a very meaningful scene in my opinion, in terms of Jack. It's funny because Jack's character wasn't really afraid of it. He just wanted to see it. From his perspective, it's like, this is where I grew up kind of thing. For her, it's like, it was hell, it was the worst thing that could have ever happened ever. So it was kind of cool. Her kind of also, you kind of see it from both perspectives of how they feel about the room, but at the end of the day, they both say goodbye to it nonetheless. So
yeah, they both realize they're too big for this,
Yeah.
Like, Jack's now like, wow, this room's like tiny. I don't remember it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Small.
Yeah.
So it just shows that like their growth, not only as like both of them, you know what I mean? Like, not only as people, but just like in general, just their growth as characters and the growth of like, oh wow, like this is where I used to live and now this is just a memory,
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. I thought it was cool, but at the same time, I don't know. I kind of felt like it was lacking. It felt like it was forcing closure. While I don't know, I think that part of her life will never really truly be over, because I don't think anyone just gets over that trauma like that. So I don't like that there's trying to be, I don't like that the movie tries to end with some type of closure. I personally believe that no matter how much you try to think there's closure, through that trauma, there will always be something lingering. And
for sure,
I just think that for them trying to force that closure just doesn't feel right.
I got you.
I would prefer a more ended ending where it was kind of just like something similar that I could express is kind of the show BoJack Horseman recently ended a couple months ago now. I believe it ended in January, and it ends kind of with a climax of there is no climax. Life just goes on. After your best day of your life, life goes on. After the worst day of your life goes on, no matter what. And that's what I really like about the show. It's just like the idea that life will go on after, right? But we still have those experiences and stuff like that, And what just pisses me off was that the idea of like closure, because there is no closure. At least not until death, maybe. But even then, is that really closure, or is that just unexpected occurrence?
I personally don't mind the closure part. I think it's closure from that part of her life. Not to say that it ever disappeared. I mean, if it just closed off and never existed after that, then her character truly never went through anything. So I personally think there is going to be, but like at the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to keep moving forward. It's behind me now, which I really like. I really didn't, I saw it differently, personally. I saw it as, I'm now leaving this behind me, and it will always be behind me because that's all I can really do. I can't let it control my life. I need to be the bigger person. I would expect for her to be the bigger person because now she has Jack, and now she has like a family. Now she has stuff to look forward to rather than look back from this stupid room in which it ruined her life. So I don't know. That's how I personally saw it. That's why I like the ending personally.
I think it was an okay ending. I don't believe in closure. Closure is a fake thing Hollywood made up just to make people feel better about themselves. Sure,
man. If that's what you truly believe in, sure. I truly believe in closure. I think having closure is what sets people straight and moving forward and the traumatic things that happen in life. And if you continuously let it rule your life, then all you're going to be is a nihilistic person who is always going to blame that thing for ruining their life. Move forward. I
mean, that's not necessarily true. I don't believe in closure, but I still believe that you can become a better person out of your negative experiences just as much as your positive ones.
Sure.
It's just a matter
That's what I was going to say, too. I feel like after she almost killed herself, she definitely, like, her character moved forward. From that point on, she realized that I need to, be here for Jack. And she actually told him, like, I remember he was like, promise you'll never do that again. And he's like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I won't. So, I mean, she definitely started to, like, progress as a character and, like, as a person from that point to, like, the end. But she was probably, like, when she wasn't at home, she was probably going through, like, a lot of therapy and,
for sure,
psychological stuff to deal with stuff like that. And that's why she was, when Jack, like, asked her, can we go back to the room, she was kind of like nah, like, Jack, come on,
She's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like, we can't go back. Yeah. And he's like, well, just to see it. And then she was like, okay, like, just to get that, that last closure or whatever. And then she was like, can we go now, at the end. But I feel like Angel was saying, I definitely feel like when you have something that traumatic happen, it's nice to kind of come back to it, maybe to like what you were saying too, Jay, how, like, you learn something from it and progress from it. I think that was really probably powering for her to see that and progress from that and leave that place again. So
I hope so. I mean, I personally hope so. Like, I mean, we don't, there's nothing after it. She's just a character. But
there's nothing after an ending.
I would hope so. People go out of their way to face what has been, if there's something traumatic in their life, to face it, and understand that at this point forward, like, they're going to be a different person. Maybe you don't have to face it. Maybe you can face it internally. Maybe they could have done that. That's fine. I just like, the visual part aspect of it, of going back into the room. I don't know. That's just, as I said, my point of view in terms of that, my opinion on it.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think overall it's a really good movie. It's shot very well.
Yeah.
I do have to admit, though, the second half is kind of boring at some points. Like,
yeah, I could see that.
But of course, like, it's the idea of just trying to adapt to society. I don't know. I think personally for me, the climax of the film was when he jumps out of the car and escapes. But I don't like the fact that that's the climax, because that means there's a whole hour left of just leftovers.
Yeah.
I believe your climax of your film shouldn't be the end of the film, but should be somewhere maybe 10 minutes before the end of the film.
Yeah.
And some people maybe would see it as, the climax is the part where she tries to kill herself. Personally, I'm going to be honest with you, I only felt bad for Jack, but I didn't feel like that was a climax. Like, that didn't have me anticipated on the edge of my seat.
No.
It was when he jumps out of the car. I was they have to, he has to, like, be able to reach out to him. He has to be able to pass the note to him, like, please, for the love of God. That had me on the edge of my seat. And the fact that it happens midway through, it makes the rest of the movie feel like a bore.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It was, because I was really curious. I was like, I wonder how far we are into the film, and I checked and it was like halfway. I was like, man, we're halfway. I wonder how they're going to lead up to the the second half. Like, how are they going to deal with that? So I understand that part. Definitely, I agree.
Yeah, it leaves you kind of feeling weird throughout the rest of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's a really good film, really well made, shot well. I love that the idea that Jack thinks after the planets there's heaven and stuff like that. I really think that's adorable for a kid to think that and everything like that. And I think that Brie Larson did a good job. I personally don't have much else to say.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I'd rate it a good. I'd have to give it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It wasn't too bad. It was all right.
Now that we actually summarize the qualities of it, I originally was gonna give this a 7. I don't know why. I thought it was a 7 worthy, but now that I think about it, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. That was a good movie.
All right.
Yeah, I think I agree with that too. Probably a 7.5-ish, just because of what we were talking about, how halfway through it, it's well, now what, now what's going to happen? But they did an okay job progressing through it. And the fact when she was gone, I think that was kind of one of my favorite part of the movie. Not that she was gone, but the fact that you could see Jack's character development without him really worrying about his mom that much. So he got that friend, and then he got to play with the dog and meet the dog and everything. And I think that was definitely a cool part. So I mean, adorable. Exactly. So probably a 7.5, I would say. I
will say though, the first hour you do feel trapped in that room with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So definitely good job to the director, the cinematographer, the editor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for all of them to put in that work, you guys honestly made me feel like I need to get out too. So good job on your guys' part.
I wish I could get out.
Yeah, that cinematography was pretty intense, especially when he was in the wardrobe and just was all quiet and stuff. That was intense, because you didn't know you kind of know that he knows about him, because remember when he was well, what does he have, 2 heads or something? But obviously he's never really interacted with them and stuff, so it was intense to know that, to kind of feel trapped too in the wardrobe, not knowing what's going on and stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
They did a good job filming it.
Good job to you, Brie Larson. You actually made me feel emotions. Hopefully one day you'll hear this and know that I don't hate you now anymore, just because you did such a good job with this role. But honestly, never play Captain Marvel again. I really hope you don't succeed and lead Avengers 5, for the love of God.
I stopped watching Avengers after Infinity War, to be honest.
All right, man. Hey. Endgame, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Trash, bro.
Man, fuck off.
Garbage.
Anyways. Speaking of, I don't know what I was going to relate that to.
Celebrity type people, I guess.
Celebrities, people that have been disliking.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the biggest internet celebrity that I can think of that's getting the most shit right now.
Yeah.
Our boy iDubbbz.
iDubbbz, dude.
Okay, Matt. So let me give you the synopsis of this now.
Yeah, because I kind of know what's going on, but at the same time, it's still.
Okay, so iDubbbz is a very edgy YouTuber. He basically used to run with the crowd of Max Mofo, Filthy Frank, H3H3, JonTron, I believe as well. I don't know if they had any videos together. I just know that H3H3 knows JonTron. Same thing with Filthy Frank. So I'm assuming they were in the same crowd. And pretty much now, as time has gone on, they of course separated. Filthy Frank's now Joji, and he's making music. H3H3 has a podcast now. He's doing his own thing. JonTron still making the JonTron show, and Max Mofo still doing Max Mofo.
Yeah.
So pretty much iDubbbz was kind of the only dude that kind of continued making more content related to the edginess of the original crowd that they got from. So because of that, he says a bunch of abrupt things and things like that. So because he's attracted those edgy teenagers, such as myself, still living in that era, people have been dogging on him because of his girlfriend, I believe, Anissa Jamha or some shit like that.
I think something like that, yeah.
Because recently she has opened an OnlyFans. People try to call him out for being a hypocrite, but he's basically pointing out the fact that he's never really said anything about sex workers. So that's the rundown right now. He finally released a update video basically talking about it, just pointing out that he never really said anything about sex workers, like I said, and just defending himself about his girlfriend being an OnlyFans quote unquote porn star now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my perspective is just that really they can just do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not a person where I don't like to control people. It's not my thing. And I don't really like to have a say-so in someone's life, especially someone who, like, I wouldn't say look up to, but I would say I enjoy their content, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I look up to my grandpa for working hard. I look up to my grandma for, like, you know, cooking and like helping me through my tough times, you know? But, like, I just always like was like, oh, I'm gonna watch iDubbbz because he's funny. Mm-hmm. And that's just my opinion on it. Like, I have a very simple one. Just, I really don't give a fuck if she wants to make an OnlyFans. Who gives a fuck? The only thing I do care about is people saying, oh, by definition, iDubbbz is a cuck. No, motherfucker. Yeah, he's not getting his girlfriend fucked by some big old long cock. All right, she's not getting some BBC while he's jerking off in the corner. No, iDubbbz is literally just chilling. No problems there. Yeah, his girlfriend's posting nudes. Big whoop. If you're the one calling him out and then you're paying for those same nudes, guess what, fuckface? You're the cuck. You're the guy paying for the fucking porn. You're paying to see someone else's girlfriend. You're the cuck. I don't think you understand that concept. Especially if iDubbbz is boning her in those videos. If there's videos of iDubbbz boning his girlfriend and you're paying for them, you're the weirdo. I'm just letting you know this. You're the simp.
Yeah. That'd be really weird if they were doing that. Like, that's like a whole, like, reminds me of Cartman and Butters when he was just like, look, guys, Cartman Butters is gay, literally, and he has his, like, balls in his mouth. Like, dog, what? No, you're the one, you know? Yeah,
he's like, look, he put his balls in my mouth. He's so gay, right, guys? And he's just like, no, you're the gay one. That's exactly the same thing. Everybody's calling him a cuck, but I just don't understand that. How are you calling him a cuck? His girlfriend's not getting fucked by anyone. I guess if you want to call him a weak man, then I guess by that definition he's a cuck. Yeah. But everybody knows what definition we think of when we hear cuckold or cuckery or fucking cuck. Yeah. All right? We all think of man watching his girlfriend or wife being boned. And iDubbbz, that's not what happens.
Yeah,
it's OnlyFans, bro. Like,
the only joke I can possibly get that was, like, I think pretty funny was the simp jokes. The simp jokes I can't. Even he stated though they were pretty funny.
Yeah. He was like, no more Mr. Fucking Nice Simp.
Nice simp. Yeah. In terms of my opinion on it, like I said, and I told you earlier, was like, I just kind of wish that, in terms of, like I said, behind the screen to himself and his relationships with people, I wish he had more dignity for himself and self-respect, and I hope she has self-respect. I hopefully thought, but like I said, I'm not here to control his life. He can do what he wants, you know. Doesn't mean I can't criticize him. Of course I can criticize him all I want. I think anyone can, you know, but going so far as to control someone, that's where we're getting a little too far, and for sure I agree with that.
Exactly.
The one part, in terms of his argument, that I was, like, a little weirded about, which, I agree with him, but I am a little dissuaded with how he explained, or just like his examples, was the idea how having, or like being a sex worker, how it shouldn't affect your future career plans that you might have later in life, especially if that's how you're using yourself to make money. You know, you just need money, whatever, cash, hustle, whatever. And that, like, people shouldn't people backtracking to see what you've done on the internet doesn't necessarily, like, it shouldn't matter, especially if you're capable of doing the job correctly, right? Which I was like, I kind of agree. It was the examples in which he kind of compared those with tattoos and piercing to those who are sex workers. And the reason I say that is because I am very sure a company, especially nowadays, we're very open that we realize that people with tattoos and piercing normally aren't quote unquote bad people or gang members, especially back in the past. That's how they viewed, you know, those people. We're now more open, because I definitely seen people with piercings and, you know, tattoos getting hired everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
that being compared to a person who was a sex worker not getting hired, that's a whole different matter. That is to a whole different degree, because a sex worker is already someone who's exposing themselves. Now, I understand that is up to debate and opinion, but do realize companies are not seeing those to the same degree. You're already exploiting yourself. You're personally putting yourself out there, and to them, that is the image of their company, and they're very worried about the image of their company. That is how companies work. As a business, if I was working in a business, mattering the business, if it was one in which I'm looking for those who, for the face of my business, are going to be very well respected, dignified, and looked out, I could hardly care less if they had tattoos or, piercings, as long as they were definitely well respected, and I can tell by their character. But if they were a sex worker, and I could definitely see how that might be a problem towards my company. You can't help but people be selfish, especially if that's their company. They grew, they made that company. It's an issue. So with that, I didn't agree with on him, but I do agree with that maybe being a sex worker isn't something that to be judged. And I hope maybe later in the future, people won't care anymore, to the point where it's like, who cares if they were a sex worker? If they can do the job, they have the degree, they can have the job, whatever, it doesn't matter, So they're like, well, I've seen strippers. I'm like, yeah, but strippers aren't really on the internet. They're strippers,
Yeah,
so
they're just
things,
stripping in the strip club.
They're stripping in the strip club. They're probably going to be viewed by, a couple of people, and within that community itself. Not
even that. Think about also the lighting of a strip club. It's purposely dark, so you can't really see anybody other than
Sure.
not the outline of a woman, but they usually don't put spotlights or anything like that. From what I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about totally in actual real life. I haven't gone to a strip club. I don't need that shit. It's stupid as fuck. I'm talking about from movies perspective and stuff like that. Usually they typically show the strip club very dim, very dark lighting, with maybe a little, lights every here and there, with very what would be fluorescent.
I guess fluorescent. It's I don't know. I get what you're talking about though. They're very very obscure lighting, which black lighting. There you go. Right. So no, yeah, you're right.
Matt would know about
legit.
I've never been to a strip club, but
not yet.
All right then. Your 21st. Anyways, thoughts on this whole iDubbbz thing. I'm trying to think about it from my perspective. If I was a famous YouTuber and I had a following of people that I had to keep an image for and stuff like that. Which you shouldn't really have to feel like you have to keep that image, but
for sure.
I feel like if I was him, I probably would just not be attracted to her in the first place. You know what I mean? I'd be nah, you're cool and everything, but you're starting to do this now, and it's kind of ruining my image and stuff. Exactly. And it's just I feel like I could find someone that's a comedian that's funny and likes making content that my users would enjoy too, you know what I mean? My followers would enjoy. So from that perspective, I feel like he's not a cuck, but he's kind of just doesn't really care, obviously, about maybe he loves her a lot and stuff, I get that, but I personally, that would be kind of a turn off for me. I would be yikes. You know what I mean?
For sure. And the thing is,
you can't make some good content.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It was just I think my biggest problem, or not even the biggest problem, it's just I hope it, I was telling Jay earlier that hey, that they must have definitely talked about hey, what if I open OnlyFans account? How is that going to affect his viewership and how they view him, right? And in terms of his image. And like you said, he might not care. And look, if iDubbbz, look, if you don't care, dog, cool on you, bro. Cool on you. If you're just there doing whatever the hell you want, good, good for you, man. Do you? You know what I'm saying? But if you're really worried about your image, and you do care about maybe the way your certain fan base, and you don't want to lose your fan base because you've collected this fan base over years and years and years. Personally, myself, I wouldn't want to risk my fan base because that's all I've ever known. That's my life. That's my job. That's my passion and whatnot, right? And so I just really hope that this OnlyFans situation does not affect his future videos and his viewership and subscribers or whatnot. I really hope so.
Exactly.
It doesn't affect it, because I still want him to thrive. I still want to see, content cops, because I think content cops is one of my favorite, because it's, him exposing, other YouTubers in a comedic way and really coming at them in terms of their hypocrisy. So yeah, I really hope that it doesn't affect his channel too much, and hopefully it doesn't affect his relationship too much, because it can. You can definitely see in a way that it can. But man, look, you want to do that, like like you said, Matt, like personally for me, I would never want to risk my YouTube career over a girl that is into that stuff. Like I'm not going to do that. That's my life. I built that up for years and years on end. And so I'd rather find someone that will possibly either fit it if they really want to get exposure or whatnot. But iDubbbz can do him, I guess. So,
but that's the thing, is like, I don't think it is risking anything, because let's be honest here, the moment the content cop, because you said there was a content cop coming out, I don't know, maybe he was just doing that because he just wanted to fuck with people, because everybody wants another content cop. But the moment if that does drop, people are gonna be flocking back to him like the fucking little ants that they fucking are. They're just little fucking sheep that, because they caught on to the new meme of simp and fucking all that shit, that they're just saying it to fucking try to attack them, because like I said, once again, edgy teenagers. But the thing is, like, they're not leaving iDubbbz. His subscriber count was 7.1 million. I'm pretty sure his subscriber count is still 7.1 million, and it's not gonna fucking go down, because even though they're saying, oh, you're a simp, you're a cuck, you're that, you're this, they're still gonna follow him. They're still gonna keep up with him. I mean, look at fucking Rice Gum. He's probably one of the fucking most annoying people on fucking YouTube, and he has 10 million followers, and I think more even now. So it just shows you that you don't really have to fucking give a fuck about what your fans say, just as long as you make content that attracts people. And iDubbbz does that. He makes content that's weird and funny, and personally for me, I don't think it's going to affect his YouTube channel at all.
I hope not, man. Yeah, because if anything, look, if he even gains subscribers because of it, cool on him, Get all the OnlyFans,
Exactly.
Like, dudes who are paying. There you go.
I think the biggest problem everybody has with his girlfriend is that he has complained, or not he, but she has complained about iDubbbz on stream and stuff like that, talking about how he's like a man child, and like she kind of just bitched about him, which I understand that part. If you're complaining about her, not because of the OnlyFans, if you're complaining about OnlyFans, shut the fuck up. You're a kid, okay? You're a kid on the internet thinking that his opinion, no. But if you're complaining about the fact that she's a hypocrite because she constantly talks about, sensitive topics, like she was talking about fucking how she went through like body dysmorphia and all these fucking problems and shit, but then she made fun of fat people and stuff like that. It's like, bro, pick your side, one or the other. Are you sensitive or are you edgy? Are you fucking, you know what I mean? Are you iDubbbz or are you some fucking sensitive little bitch? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think when it comes to your YouTube side, you have to kind of show like who you are. Personally, for me, I like edgy content. I like saying edgy shit. I like making fun of fucking things. You know what I mean? But if you ask me my general opinion, I'm going to give you it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's easy to attack the OnlyFans thing, because you could just be like, slut, haha, you're a fucking whore, and you could be like, haha, look, your boyfriend's a simp, haha, cuck boy, haha, soy boy, veg fucking latte from fucking Starbucks. You know what I mean? That's easy. That's easy to do. But for you to come up with a congruent argument, hey, I can't argue with those facts. You know what I mean? I can't argue with the evidence you show me. So if you actually genuinely dislike her because of that, and you think that she's gonna fuck over iDubbbz one day, well then maybe you're right. Maybe that will happen one day. Nobody knows yet. That day hasn't come, and hopefully it never will, because I personally think iDubbbz is a really good YouTuber. He makes good content comparatively to other fucking YouTubers who really suck ass. Tanamongu. I'm sorry, bro, her shit is boring as fuck.
I hate Rice Gum.
Is that blonde girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who lies about all her fucking stories and shit and exaggerates the fuck out of them.
Didn't iDubbbz go to one of her it was like convention or something?
Yeah. And then he was like, not gonna say it on here, but he said say.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, and she was like, he had his arm wrapped around me like a python, and fucking all types of fucking lying ass shit. Like, bitch, no, he didn't. Don't lie. You do know he recorded it, right? You idiot. He's a YouTuber too, dumbass. Why wouldn't he record it? He wants to see your dumbass reaction, which you gave him, and then you lied about it. Fucking retard. Anyways, yeah, like it's just.
Oh my God.
I think if you wanna attack her personally like that and go after the fact that before with iDubbbz she literally cheated on her ex, I believe, and all this other shit. If you want to go off of that, yeah, judge her. That's fucked up. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The case of just making the argument that like she's a messed up person because she's a sex worker. No, that's not how that always works.
That's not because I said, like even me, like I even personally, for me, like in terms of her as a person, I could hardly care less. You know.
Exactly.
It's like she didn't matter. You know, in terms of like I felt in terms of my own argument was just the way that I view iDubbbz. You know, that is just my my perspective on it. You know, not her. I don't really care about her. She can do whatever the hell she wants. She wants to make an OnlyFans. Go right ahead. You know, that's up to her. As I said, I just hope one day, because like he even said, and it seemed genuinely that he cares about her, which I'm like, okay, if that's the case. Like, I just hope she just never screws you over, because if she does, like, it's going to be really bad, you know? And I'm just, it's not really bad. It's just people are going to, you know how people flock. There's that.
Oh yeah, no. If she screws him over,
I told you so.
Exactly.
You know, whatever. And I don't, I don't want that for him at all, because especially if it's going to be really painful for him, especially that it seems like, she's like the fiance, right? Like
I don't know if are they?
I heard something about that. I'm not too sure, but don't quote me on that. But like, right. Though they're together, even as boyfriend and girlfriend, like, and it seems like they've been with each other for quite a while. If there is a breakup that happens, I really hope that like people just support him. I don't know, like, hey bro, like keep doing you. We're here for you. You know what I'm saying? Screw her OnlyFans or whatever. I don't care.
Nah, bro. I told you, bro. They're edgy teenagers, bro. They're just gonna be like, fuck you, fucking simp. I told you. That's all they're gonna do. They're just fucking. They're kids. That's why. That's all they care about. Like, honestly, if simp is like genuinely a word you use to insult somebody, you're kind of an edgy teenager.
Yeah.
There's no way you can convince me otherwise. Yeah. If simp is genuinely like in your fucking definitions and like the words you go to, it's like, how can I disrespect this dude? And your first thought is simp. Yeah, you're an edgy teenager. You spend your time way too much on meme pages. Like, just get the fuck off, bro. Get off the internet for a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, the definition of a simp is literally a guy that basically like glorifies a woman and she doesn't give him any attention, you know what I mean?
That's the funny thing is iDubbbz is getting pussy from her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's already
it's already counterintuitive. iDubbbz, you're a simp because you're saying your girlfriend can do whatever she wants. It's almost like she's human.
For real.
Like, what the hell are you talking about, dipshit? Yeah, she is fucking human. Numbnuts. Yeah. Thank you for your dumbass 2 cents. I don't know who told you to give it to us, but you did it.
I think there's definitely that line that you have to be in between. I feel like that's where iDubbbz is probably chilling right now, where he's like,
for sure.
Like, I don't want to be over controlling, but I don't know. If I was in his position, I feel like I still would just be like, yo, I can't be with you, but I don't know. I can't really talk about being in someone's shoes, but
dude,
you don't know exactly how they feel and stuff.
All I'm saying is iDubbbz made a fucking video on peanuts and whether or not fucking half of them are like half the peanuts or some shit, and he got 4 million views. This dude doesn't have to do much to create a fucking audience, bro. Yeah. He doesn't have to do much, and that's the thing. That's all I'm saying.
He made a throwback, right, to that, because someone else was like, someone made a throwback to it, right? Because they were reacting to, not reacting, but they were going on that whole thing of like him being, everyone was like, oh, simp that, simp this, whatever on Twitter. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't fucking know, man. I just think they're retarded because I don't think they understand the words they're using, bro. I don't know if it's meant to be ironic, if you're using simp and cuck in an ironic way where it's like meant to sound dumb, but it does when I read it. Like, in my head, I hear it in like the most quote unquote chattiest voice, you know what I mean? Like, oh, simp.
Yeah.
Fucking simp. Yeah. My mom didn't teach me what definitions are. I hear it in that voice.
Those who are watching, if you disagree with us, please put down in the comment section why we are now simping because we possibly disagree with your harsh condition of iDubbbz being a cuck and simp, please let us know.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, man, you have no control over anybody's life. Focus on your life. If you want to make a fucking video about this, do so, bro. Maybe you'll get some fucking hits off of that shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, but if you're gonna put your opinion on the internet, at least try to get some fucking money for it. Because your ass is just sitting there, fucking doing nothing with it, just trying to put it on Twitter. Like, those 200 likes are gonna pay your fucking bills, bro. Like, it's not, bro. Go up to your fucking your apartment manager or wherever the fuck, your grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, whoever the fuck. Try to go up to them and say, "Can I pay you in likes?" See what the fuck happens. At least do something with it. All I'm saying is, you can't control anybody's life. YouTubers, celebrities, fuck, even people close to you, like your friends. You can't control them.
For real.
Don't fucking try to. And if you
don't tell them they can't be friends with other people.
That too, for real, no cap.
But recently that happened with me.
It's fucking stupid.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
That's annoying.
I don't want to get into it, but yeah, there's just people like, oh no, I like this person, so you can't be friends with them, even though I basically introduced you guys. Like, it was just like,
oh my God.
All I'm saying is, bro, all I'm saying is, bro, if you
introduce us, but.
If you are trying to control somebody's life, you're a piece of shit in my book. That's it.
Yeah.
You're just a piece of shit. You can have an opinion. No one said you can't have an opinion. But if you're constantly going under every comment section, everything you can find about the fucking topic, and you're typing out
being toxic, being overly,
you know what I mean? Like, if you're constantly fucking doing that and just trying to get someone to riled up and trying to fucking fight you and have your little Twitter battle, wherever the fuck you want, your little fucking internet keyboard fucking warrior.
You got no life at that point.
Exactly. You're fucking nobody. You clearly,
there's much more to worry about.
You clearly don't fucking know what you're doing or what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you're just too invested in it. Personally, for me, when I see a YouTuber talk about it, I'm like, okay, yeah, you trying to get them clicks, my boy. You know what I mean? Like, I do not blame you for calling out this motherfucker, because iDubbbz name just gets you clicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, when you just constantly bash and berate and try to fucking constantly do it, it gets annoying, bro. It's like, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, earlier today, I was reading on Twitter, like I said, the whole cuck thing, and this dude's trying to defend it, like, oh yeah, he is a cuck, and by definition, he's a cuck, and everybody was like, I don't think you know what the fucking definition of a cuck is, literally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. People just, they don't know what they're talking about anymore, and they try to sound smart by being like, literally, you know, fucking that Leafy is here fucking mindset. Literally. By the way, Leafy, if you're listening, this is your time to strike. Hit the bald man while he's low.
Yeah.
Hit this man while he's down. Kick him.
Everyone's like, yo, the chin man had it right all the time. I was like, it's so stupid.
Bro, no cap. If Leafy came back right now just to make a video on iDubbbz, he would get so many views, bro.
He would, bro.
Leafy, do it. If you're here, if you're listening, if you hear this, do it. Get that fucking revenue, baby.
That's funny.
I'm still mad that they removed that video from YouTube. I'm still so mad. They removed the fucking content cop for Leafy easier.
Funny.
But they declared it as bullying. I guess it's bullying. Not really. I thought it was funnier.
Really?
Well, it's because in the video he says that it's bullying.
Oh.
In the beginning he goes, he's like, it's time to bully Leafy. Remember?
Yeah.
So because of that, I think that they got way too offended. It's because it's funny, bro. Because Leafy's here, all he did was bully people. So it kind of felt funny when you find out the fucking the little twerp that is making fun of everybody has no chin. He has a chin of a fucking 13-year-old lesbian.
Jesus Christ. It's funny.
Why does it have to be lesbian?
There's
okay, fine. 13-year-old, I don't fucking know.
There's so many pictures where, like, it looks like he's purposely, like, covering his, like, chin. It's so funny, bro. Like, I didn't really expose that part. I was laughing. I couldn't help but laugh.
My favorite part is when he stapled the picture of him on a fucking telephone pole, and he was just like, have you seen this man's chin? It's missing.
He was going around like a beach, right? Was it?
Yeah, he was going around a beach and he was asking people walking up to him going, have you seen this man's chin? It's missing.
That's funny.
But yeah, like I said, just don't be a controlling fuck. Yeah, it's annoying. Nobody wants to hang out with you. Like, it's okay if one of your best friends is your girlfriend, but if your only best friend is your girlfriend, you're probably a controlling fuck.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to hang out with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, all I'm saying is, do you. Put your opinion out there. Go ahead. Criticize the man. Call him a simp. Call me a simp for defending him. But sometimes, no one needs to hear your dumbass wrong opinion. Because definitions for words still exist. Look them up.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. Fucking be rabbit out type of shit. Fucking Eminem in this fucking house. You know what I mean?
We need some sound effects, dude.
Fucking explosions. Pew, pew, pew.
Oh,
hey, what's up, guys? It's Jay. I wanted to tell you that iDubbbz' girlfriend is actually not selling nudity on her OnlyFans. It's only going to be a second Instagram account, basically. And all you dumbasses that thought they were going to see some pussy, no, fuck you, beta bitch. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast for the day. We are now officially on Spotify and iTunes, so check that out if you do not want to listen to it on YouTube, because I know not everybody has YouTube Premium or anything like that. I think nobody has YouTube Premium personally. I use that free trial and I fucking canceled my shit immediately. So I don't blame you if you want to use Apple Podcasts or Spotify to listen to this podcast instead.
You know, social distancing, don't go, you know, there's I heard on that good old, adult, website with some workers on there, you can get a little free account for like a week or something, so please, social distancing, don't get sick, guys, don't go transmitting corona, please. But yeah, dude,
what are you supposed to do if someone invites you to hang out? Are you supposed to just be like, you're insensitive? Like, I don't know. Are you supposed to?
I'm gonna go hang out. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking too. But at the same time, like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of sketched out.
All right,
at first, I wasn't really sketched out, but yeah.
All right. Yeah. Anyways, subscribe to Movie Trash Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and the YouTube channel, and go subscribe to iDubbbz' girlfriend's OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Show her some love.
Yeah, show her some love.
Especially with the internet hating on her ass right now.
Yeah.
All right,
watch iDubbbz beat them cheeks.
Watch iDubbbz clap some cheeks. All right, guys. See you next week. Right. Bye.
See ya.
Late.
Boy.